How long does it record?
Hours.
Does it?
I think. That's it. I think it's recording. There you go. Right, thank you very much. Sorry
Okay,
about this.
okay. So welcome.
yeah.
Thank you very much. Welcome to your new boat. Now this is
for you.
have you towed before?
Yeah, I've told quite a few things
Right,
before.
it's dead
yeah.
easy. This is a standard British link hitch, right? You're not expected to lift a handful of boat and put it on the back of the car. You use the jockey wheel
Yeah.
to raise it or lower it. You'll do your backing if you try and lift.
Yeah.
This is the handbrake. The car will not overcome the handbrake. Make sure the handbrake is off, and this is a safety lanyard which we put around a strong point or around the hitch and back onto itself. It's attached to the handbrake, so God forbid if anything was to fail, the boat will not go past you on the motorway.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Straightforward here, we've got a winch. We want to keep this nice and tight. We need to keep the bow of the boat really tight, and to release the winch, all we do is push the little lug up and it'll come off.
Yeah.
All right. Now, after a couple of hours motoring, you might get another click out of it. Purely because I've lifted the boat onto the trailer, not winched the boat onto the trailer. We use the cranes and actually lift the boat onto the trailer. This is a little safety lanyard I'll be putting on because we don't rely wholly on the strap and the hook. So we'll be putting this on as well, so that if he drops the clutch at the roundabout and zooms away, you won't leave your boat at the roundabout. All right?
Okay.
Dead easy. Okay, so we have in front of us a brand spanking new 26M. It's clean, it's shiny, it's been washed, it's been polished, it's been rigged, it's ready to go. This seriously now is arrive at the slipway, and within about 40 minutes you'll be on the water. If you're sailing. If you're not sailing, if you're going powering, you could go to the nearest slipway, having fueled, and go. Just like that. Okay, so just wander around now. I've built the boat, I've built the trailer, we've got a clean, shiny boat. The wheel looks tight, the tyre pushes are done. There's your lighting board.
What is the tyre pressure?
68 psi.
Right, okay.
Okay. Lighting board, which will put your number plate on. We'll do a lighting check. I've checked it already on the back of my van, so it works. So let's make sure it works on the car.
Yeah.
The rig is done, and the way you see it is the way I would expect to see it every time you're going to move it. Right? If you make it up like this, then there's a minimum amount of work required to get it going again.
Okay.
So all adjustments are done on these are what we call the chain plates for the uppers and the lowers. They're all set. If ever you have to alter them to adjust the rig, if you do anything to this side of the boat, which is the port side, you must do exactly the same to the other side, which is the starboard side.
Okay.
Dead easy. So if you move a pin half a hole, you must do exactly the same to the other side to keep it true. Clean and shiny, gleamy. Docking irons. They're aluminium, they'll withstand the boat bumping into them. You may choose to put some pipe wrap around them, or some insulation, or something. That's entirely up to you. There's another boat here, I'll show you. He's put some tubey wrap on it. Makes it a bit taller.
Right.
Okay, dead easy. Okay. Coming around here. Rudder lines. I've threaded the rudder lines, and there's paperwork in the boat that says how to rig your rudder lines. I've already done them. They're already in. The bowlines are done. Stop knots are done. That's done. Nav lights have been tested. Done. There's two bolts in the rudders. One of them is permanent, i.e. the middle one. This one, that is finger tight, is purely a transit bolt. It is there to stop the rudders falling in the road and wearing out because you didn't tie a proper knot.
All
Alright, so they're transit bolts. So they're only finger tight, okay? And they're there to stop this falling in the road.
Right, okay.
Easy. If you come around the back of your boat, the arch will stay on all the time, and that supports the mast. Okay? Skin fittings on your boat. We've got, here we have, this is the drain for the electric bilge pump. This is the drain for the sink and the transom well. And this is the drain for the manual bilge pump.
Right.
Okay? Okay, we have the engine, we have the ladder. Quite straightforward with the ladder. I personally would do away with the pin. There's a pin there that secures it in the up position.
Which will get sheared if
Will
you
get lost, or somebody will pull on this. I would put a lanyard. A lanyard in naval term is a piece of string or a piece of line from there and just tie it off, so that when you bend down to pull it up, you don't lose your phone and your Ray-Bans out your top pocket. All right, but straightforward. But don't go powering along with the ladder down. The propeller won't hit it, but it'll just get corroded and horrible. Okay, your engine. This is the one you had sent to me. It has power trim. It's connected to the engine and the rudders. I've done all the connections, so it's all ready to go. Okay? I don't want you to do anything to it. It needs no adjustments. It doesn't need any tweaking.
Ooh, it looks so shiny.
It's all new.
Yeah.
It's a 4-cylinder 4-stroke,
Yeah.
60 horsepower. It's got an electric starter motor, obviously. It's got a spin-on fuel filter, oil filter, just like a car. Electronic ignition, add oil, fuel pump, fuel filter, injectors, and the dipstick. And the dipstick is under here,
All right.
and it's filled with golden syrup.
Right. Okay.
It isn't really. It's filled with proper engine oil. But it's nice and clean now. It requires a change at 10 hours. 10 hours, it requires an oil change.
Right.
Just while it's bedding in. But it's easy. It's 2.5 litres of oil.
Right.
There's the drain. Right.
Yeah.
I don't mind if you do it yourself or you get the local dealer to do it. But it requires an oil and filter change at 10 hours.
Right.
Okay, it's not the end of the world. And if you say, oh, Richard, I've done 25 hours,
Yeah,
it's not the end of the world.
sure, yeah.
If you are a man who's capable of doing your own servicing on this engine, and basically all it needs is oil and filter, then send the book to me and I'll stamp the book.
Right.
Right? But if you're a man that works in an office pushing a pen and you don't know anything about engines, let the man do it and he'll stamp the book.
Okay.
Quite straightforward. Now then, if you've had a couple of bevies and fallen asleep and left all the lights on, you can start it by hand.
Yep.
I'll provide you with a piece of rope, okay, and it's dead easy.
A lanyard, for Christ's sake.
Yeah. With a piece of string. And that's all there is to it. So
Right, okay.
even from a flat battery,
That's a
you've got to
funny
lift
way
that
of-
little pipe over,
Aye.
push that up, you'll be inside the boat anyway.
That pipe do anything else?
No, it's a crankcase breather.
All right. That's
It's just
yeah.
as the crankcase because the engine's
yeah.
stood on its end.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just a breather. And that's all there is to it. It requires no adjustments,
That's what I
no
like to
tweaking.
hear.
Let me just increase the slow running. No, don't.
No.
It doesn't have a choke. It's all electronic. You turn the key and it'll go.
Yeah.
Right?
Fantastic.
And I'll show you when we get on board. There's a reason. If it doesn't go, there's a reason. We've fitted the correct propeller,
Yep. That's the 13-inch.
13-inch,
Yeah.
and it's ready to go. There's one thing they didn't send when they sent the engine down. They didn't send any control cables, so I had to get those. You know, they had head and a stern and a throttle cable.
Paid for them.
Well, do you tell them because no cables came with it.
Oh, she told me I can't.
Well, no, I just went down to Robin and bought them. So no control cables. So they owe you for control cables.
Right.
Anyway, right. Moving on. Hull number, which is an 09 hull, and it's written inside the boat as well. Okay.
Take a note of the number.
Does it show on that?
Well, it will do, must be. Yeah.
Again, this bolt here is a transit bolt.
Okay.
In case you haven't tied the knot off properly, if you, by the time you arrive home, they'd be worn down to nothing. Clean and shiny, gleamy, gleamy. Wheel nuts tight, tyre pressure's done. Remember what I said about rigging?
Yep.
Get same on
Now,
either side.
Quick picture here, the way things are rolled up. There's no reason for things to get knots and snags in them. If you roll it all up like this, that is the way the boat is for transit on the road. So the flexible furler, and I used hundreds of cable ties.
Aye.
Right?
Aye.
Little things to stop any chafe. That little bit of brown material at the top of the mast there is to stop any chafing, right? Keeps it tidy, makes it look like new all the time.
Right. Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, aluminium against aluminium.
And if you've got a video of this now, you'll say, oh, I've got to make it up the way Richard said. And I really don't mind if people ask me.
Yeah.
Like, Richard, I've got to go take the boat down the road to the new lake, lock or whatever. What do we do? Easy. Clean and shiny, gleamy, gleamy. This hole here is for the drain for the cockpit. For the anchor locker. If you've been in muddy waters and the anchor's been pulled up back into the locker and it's all muddy, you can rinse
spray
it
it,
and all the rubbish will come out of here.
Yeah.
Right, remember that's our little safety lanyard. The way she's made up now is the way I would like to see it. And every boat that leaves me goes the same way.
Yeah.
All right?
What width is it, Richard?
She's under 8 foot, she's 7'6".
Aye. So it's wider than the car.
Fractionally, but you don't need mirror extensions.
Well, I just bought it too anyway, so.
Well,
Technically, if it is wider than the car, you must use them, isn't it? Yeah.
now then, we're going to step aboard. She's clean and shiny. These little wooden strips, that one there and that one there, are fuel tank retainers. I put them into all my boats. Right, other agents don't do it. I put them in because it helps keep the fuel tank secure in its little fuel stowage. You might choose to put a little bit of rubber mat. There's some non-slip mat which you put on tea trays to stop teacups sliding around. That sort of thing works well on a little boat and stops the tank sliding around. In front of us we've got the tacho, the wheel and the ignition key, and you'll say, Richard, why the hell have you put the key where it's difficult for me to get? The reason it's there is if you sit on this seat in this boat, your knee will knock the key off. So you either turn the engine off with your knee, or you snap the key off.
Right.
So I put the key
So that,
out of the way,
Yeah.
all right, and it doesn't get knocked, and it works.
Yeah.
Okay, these two stowages here, they're not stowages, they're inspection hatches, and they're there purely for us to see inspect the boat. Because the boat is normally an American boat and is looked after by the American market, when we go for the rest of the world, we have to do certain things to it. We have to put 2 bilge pumps in, we have to do a bit of rewiring, we have to put the extra stanchions on. So when you look here, excuse me a moment,
Sorry.
when you look here, this little eyelet, or Humpty Back Bridge, on the American boat, it has a single stanchion here and a piece of wire that goes from there to there. For the boats for Europe, we have to put on the triple stanchions, and so that we can put a lifeline all the way around the boat, so you don't fall off. We have to look after you. Now, I never put this on. I never put that across to there.
I remember
Otherwise,
talking
you end
about
up with a bindi.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Bindi is a ding in the top of the nose, and it bloody hurts. So I don't tend to put it on,
Yeah.
because you'll forget, and you'll go, and it's like a blinking cheese wire.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're going to get aboard your boat. I want you to sit on the right.
Okay.
Okay, now the easiest way of getting aboard the boat is just, obviously when the boat's in the water, these are down. Right, so if you come here by dinghy,
Yeah.
these are going to be out of the way.
Yeah.
If you're approaching from a pontoon, you'll be stepping over the side.
Right.
Right, we'll show you. So start off with the right foot, you can hold on to any of the stainless. Hold on to any of the stainless, and if you needed to, you could sit on your engine. So
Aye.
a little trick here is if you've been for a swim, you can come out, climb up here, you can sit on top of the engine. Wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, throw a jug of water, have a quick rinse, and you're ready to go. Right? If you have a seat for a minute. Okay. Now then, the key. This is a key and a kill switch. I had the phone calls, and I still keep getting them. The key goes in at about the 10 to 12 position. About 10 to 12.
Okay.
When we turn the ignition on, the tacho will settle, and does a little self-check, and then it's ready to go. We must put the kill cord on.
Otherwise, nothing will happen.
This will start, don't worry about
Yep.
anything. Right, turn the key. It'll go instantly.
Yeah.
Now it's noisy because it's out of the water, right? And we don't run it out of the water. That's just to prove that your engine is ready to go, right? And that'll go just with the fuel that's in the fuel line. Now then, if the kill cord isn't connected, she will still crank. What's that funny noise? It's an alarm to say you forgot to connect the kill cord. As soon as you connect the kill cord, she'll go. Right? Just like that. So, if it's in gear, it won't start. Neutral, it'll start. If it's in reverse, it won't start. Now then, we've got power trim. And we've also got it on the side of the engine. So if you arrive in your dinghy and your engine's up, you can push this little button here. See? Oh, he's banged his head on the mast on his new boat. Cut. Don't film that. So you've got trim on the engine.
Right, okay.
That little switch there, and you've got trim here.
Yeah.
And you can trim when the engine's running or when the engine's not running. To put it into gear, you must squeeze the trigger.
Yeah.
A little trigger. You squeeze the trigger, idle forward, neutral. Right? Don't squeeze the trigger when you're coming back into neutral. The reason being, you'll go from a head to a stern, which isn't good for the propeller, because 1 minute it's spinning clockwise and you're going to make it spin anti-clockwise. So what I would say is you squeeze the trigger when going into gear.
Just get into the habit of doing that.
Yeah, and then neutral, nothing. So it locks into the neutral position before going astern.
Before you, yeah.
It's dead easy, and you will get a routine when you're ready. Okay, so we've got our fuel locker this side with the little wooden support, and in this side we've got our wooden support and our manual bilge pump. Okay?
Okay.
Right. Superb. Mind your head.
Yep.
You can come aboard now. And we're going to go below. So minding your head, I want you to take the little latch off.
That's what I think.
There's your compass. Right, we slide that forward, all the way. Push that forward. That one. Let's push that forward. Mind your head. Okay. Right, and then we lift this out. Right, and if you go below, And if you turn around and face me once you're down below, that's the way. It's just awkward while the rig's like this.
Yeah.
And top switch on the right hand side, top one.
Yeah. Switch on.
Flick it on. Brilliant. Okay. So we're just going to stow that. You in your own time if you come aboard.
Yeah.
Everyone have a seat. Okay. Welcome to your new boat. Come down below. If you'd sit yourself there. Okay, so we've looked around the outside of our new 26M. There's a standard boat with a double axle brake road trailer, mainsail and jib, which I'll show you in a moment, kicking strap, outboard connector bar and table, all the standard equipment. We've got a set of cockpit cushions which are lying down across the back of the boat there. Okay, we've got a compass with light which is there. We've got a mast raising system which is outside waiting for me because I'll show you through that. The furling system which we've fitted, the topping lift and your boat show discount. The engine isn't on here.
No, that's right.
Because that was a separate item. And that's what we've got. Now there's a couple of freebies which I put in. We've done the Windex, which goes on the top of the mast. Right. Now you don't need to put that on till just before you go in the water. Because if you tow this boat home with that out, by the time you get home it'll be worn out. Okay. Okay. This is marine cable. It's what they call tinned cable. It doesn't go rusty. It's not like copper that goes all black. The cable is actually silver. Okay. Now, positive and negative. Right. They will go to your battery master switch, which is round the back. Okay. And it's long enough, more than long enough. Now, it will go. There's the battery. Okay, the engine is connected to it.
Is that a deep
Yes, deep cycle battery.
Deep cycle, yeah.
Okay. Another freebie was the 12-volt socket I gave you.
Oh, excellent.
That's 12 volt. Now it's rated at 10 amps, but could be rated at 20 amps. All you have to do is change the fuse. The switch and the wiring will take up to 20 amps.
Okay.
But it's got a 10 amp fuse in it as we speak.
Right.
All right. So we've got positive and negative, quite straightforward with wing nuts on them. The engine is connected direct, so that you can, when the engine is running, it's charging the battery.
Right. Okay.
Okay. Now that is
Will
the
it charge
build.
it quite well
Whenever you're motoring, it's charging the battery.
Aye. Does it
Right.
give it a fair amount of charge when it's actually idling? No.
No, you need to be just off the idle.
Aye.
Just off idle. But then you could augment that with a solar panel. Pardon me, a solar panel.
Yeah, I've got.
You know, a little solar panel just to keep it topped up would be
Yeah,
brilliant.
yeah.
Okay. Failing that, you can bring a charger in and charge it up just like charging a car battery.
Aye.
Right. It's a sealed battery. You don't have to take the lids off to let it vent. It's sealed. Okay. Now people often ask me about shore power in a boat. It's lovely, but it's expensive. It is easier to go to the marina shop and buy an extension cable or a marina cable, which has got a gang of 4 on one end, 13 amp sockets, and on the other end it's got a marina socket. Okay, that way you've got power in your boat, which costs you about 40 quid, as opposed to about 600 for shore power, and have circuit breakers and earth leaks and all the rest of it. It's a yellow or orange cable. You can plug your hairdryer in, you can plug your battery charger in, you can put a fan heater, you can run your telly. Right, and that's your shore power when you're in a marina. Right, if you want power anywhere and you're elsewhere, then one of those little Honda generators works well. There's lots of ways of getting power into your boat. Right, so that's that. Now then,
My plan, I've actually got a 600 watt inverter
there you go.
for 30 quid.
Well, 600 watts, respectable. But you see, there's room there for a second battery,
Yeah.
and you could put an 85 or 110.
Well, I've got an electric outboard, so.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
But you might want to get another battery. Okay, so look, that's for your toilet. That's done.
That's good.
And it just goes in the bottom of the boat. It'll go from there, round the bottom of the boat, all the way to the loo.
Just fish it.
It's that easy, just straight through. That simple. You asked about your fuel tank, there's your fuel tank. It's here in the boat, brand spanking new, it's never had any fuel in it, because I have a test running tank specifically for running engines. That way you don't get the smell of fuel in your boat, so you've got your brand new
I
tank.
found that a problem once upon a time trying to sleep.
There you go. Now then, there's your jib, jib, RF, roller furling. Okay,
So it's a
so
different
we're
type of
talking
jib.
about the 26M, it's the jib and it's got an RF, which means you've got the roller furling system.
Okay.
The mainsail is there, 26M main. It's in there, ready to go. The kicking strap, quite straightforward. The kicker goes from the boom to the mast, Quite straightforward. Happy with that? Okay, we've got our main halyard, we've got our main sheet, we've got our out haul, which pulls the sail along the boom, spare nuts and bolts, right? And also the sink plug is in there.
Aye.
All right, little plug, only diddy. The battens for the sail. Battens for the sail, and there's 4 of them.
Right.
Now, once they're in, leave them in. Don't take them out again.
Right.
Right, because you'll make the pockets go baggy on the sail, and then you'll start losing them. Once they're in, leave them in. Okay. The pipette you won't use. This is provided by the Americans to let you know how much water is in the ballast system. Okay, but there's no increments on here, so it's a waste of time. But basically, they expect you to put it in the little fill hole in our ballast tank, put your finger on the end, pull it out, and say, oh yes, it's half full. Now, I give that to kiddies to shoot rice. Other than that, it has no purpose at all on your boat, but it's provided. When I spoke to you at the boat show, or other times that I've spoken to you, Mark 1 eyeball tells us when the ballast is full and when the ballast is empty, and it's that simple. There's no plastic tubes with ping pong balls in. A visual check, whether you do it as the skipper or you detail somebody else. Go and check my ballast. Bung out, there's nothing there. Open the drain, fill valve on the transom, and it'll fill to a predetermined level. And it fills in about 3 minutes. And it's that simple. But you do a visual check. And we don't go sailing assuming that it's full. We go sailing after we've checked that it's full.
Right.
Just like that. Okay. Topping lift. That's quite straightforward. It's marked topping lift, and that's the one that will go onto the mast with the main halyard prior to the mast going up. Now, the luxury with this boat is, as I'm going to prove to you in a moment, if you put the mast up and you forgot to put the bits of string on the mast, all is not lost. If you've got a Hallberg Rassi 65, you've got to get the crane back to drop the rig, or you've got to send a man topside to sort it. With the little MacGregor, you lower the mast down and put the bits of string on, and then put it back up again. And it'll take about 2 minutes. But the routine is, have a little routine where we're going out in the boat, get the bits of string out, thread them on, and I'll show you how we do it, and then put the mast up, and it's that simple. The tack line, I'll take you through the tack line in a moment, and that's the furling line, which we talk about later, and that is your winch handle. Now, your winch handle can't swim, all right? It's made of metal, it's got a little latch on it. The only time I ever use a winch handle is when I'm going close to the wind, okay? When you go close to the wind and you've got to pull things in really tight, that's the only time I use the winch handle, and I would normally do it hydraulically. I am strong enough to be able to pull my jib in tight enough by hand. But I would normally do
An option.
it's there. So your cockpit cushions, your tank, your sails, this. Right, dead straightforward. Now we're going to do a couple of little tricks here. A couple of little tricks. I'll show you what we're going to do. Just stand by. That is main sheet. So that's the main halyard and that's the top lift. So now what I'm going to do, just to make life easy for you, the 2 bits of rope in the sink are the 2 bits of rope that are going to go up the mast first thing.
Okay.
So it's on the video.
Right.
2 bits of rope. One is the main halyard, which will be taking the mainsail up the mast, and one is the topping lift, which stops the boom falling in the lap of your wife, girlfriend. All right? Dead straightforward. Now we're going to do a couple of little tasks here, which will make life easy for us. Okay? And if you'd like to have a seat, because I'm going to ask you to ask me something in a minute, I'm just going to go and get a sharp knife, so if you want to stop recording for a moment.
I've got a knife in my pocket.
Sharp knife. Look at this. Every sailor should have a knife.
Yeah.
If you could pass me the boom now, just one-handed, just nice and gently. It's not very heavy.
Something on the side, but I don't know.
Well, let's see what happens. Just nice and gently. Come to me. Okay, that'll do. Hold it in a minute.
That's an ironmonger's knife.
Okay. This is the end that if you're going to bang your head on it, this is the end you're going to bang.
Okay.
Okay, so this is called the out haul. Now, hopefully in the time that you've got your boat, you'll learn to tie a bowline. Okay? The little bunny came out of the hole, ran around the back of the tree and back down the hole. And that, believe it or not, is a bowline. Okay? That can stay there forever. Now then, while we're being filmed, you'll say, Richard, this is far too long, can I borrow the knife and I want to cut it? No, do not cut it. The reason being, when the sail is threaded from that end all the way to here, this will go through the sail, and it's called an outhaul. Okay, it goes through the sail, and you pull really tight, and then tie it off. Okay, and that will hold the sail tight along its bottom or its foot. Okay, now then, you've got a whole bunch left. Remember, the sail is cut at quite a jaunty angle here, so it gets shorter and shorter and shorter. When you put a reef in this boat, the next reefing point is further forward. So we leave it at this length so that we can secure the foot of the sail again, and then you tie off again. Are you with me? Right, you can go through the hole and back to the cleat.
Right. Okay.
So don't cut this off now. All that is left, I would wrap it round and round to keep it tidy. I don't want you to shorten it. Right? Do not shorten this. There is only one piece of rope on this boat that you'll cut. That's what I do with mine. I tuck it in here, out of the way, and when it's on the boat, all fixed up, it's ready to go. Okay. All right? And it's that simple. Okay, that can go forward again now, as far as we can, and we put it right forward, right up to the forepeak of the boat, so that it's not a spear. If you suddenly put your brakes on, you don't want something launching itself in the boat like a spear. That's it. It's quite happy to sit on the back of the seat there. Okay. That's your knife, just keep that in for a minute. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is to make up the main sheet. The main sheet, it all tells you how to do it in the book. Okay, it does tell you how to do it in the book, but
That's if you ever
I'm
read
going to
a
just
manual.
give you a head start.
Not familiar with reading manuals.
No, but what I'm going to say to you here, we're all men, but if all else fails, read the flipping book,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because it's written for Muppets,
Aye.
and that's not detrimental to you guys, but believe me, I'm
Well-
sold to lesser mortals. Just
Well, I'm a bit of a newbie at the old sailing, so but I've had motorboats all my life, kind of thing. Yeah,
well,
so.
this is a motorboat.
Aye.
It's a motorboat with a stick.
Aye.
It's not the end of the world. You'll have a whole bunch of fun, and you'll find you'll get lots of friends, or involve your friends. Yes. Just going to do one more. Now, the reason I'm taking my time on doing this, because most sailors know that if you're playing with rope, it's guaranteed to tie itself in knots. Right, so if you do it gently, all is good. Okay. It tells us in the book how to do this. We're going to reeve the main sheet blocks. So we get the bitter end, and any end of a piece of rope is called a bitter end. If I have two bits together like that, it's called a bight. Okay, but I'm not going to give you any rope drills. Thread it through. Keep hold of yours, facing this way.
Sorry.
Hey, look, it's the only time I get to be in charge. I'm in charge.
Yeah.
And once I've done this, you'll never have to do it again. Right, and we do a bowling.
Yeah.
So we put a loop. We call it the little bunny rabbit. It comes up through the hole, has a look around, ran round the tree and back down the hole. And that, my friends, is a bowline.
Right. Yeah.
And the luxury of a bowline is it's one of the easiest knots to undo. If you turn it over and break its back,
Ah, yes.
it will come undone.
Uh-huh.
So it doesn't matter how tight it's pulled, even if you've towed a car. If you've however tight it is, all you have to do is break its back and it'll fall apart. So you hold tight,
Okay.
jammed.
Okay.
I want to make it shorter.
Okay.
I want to make it longer. All right,
That's it.
dead simple.
Yes.
One end goes to the boom,
Yeah.
the other end goes to the main sheet car here. All right, so just while we're filming, this little pin and shackle.
here?
Yeah, that's correct. This little pin and shackle goes to the boom. This pin and shackle goes to the main sheet car. The main sheet car is there, and there's a little Humpty back bridge, and it's quite straightforward.
And that
This is
comes off. There's a
a
split
little
pin.
ring ding. Yeah,
Yeah.
and don't change them for R clips, because an R clip can be caught on a piece of rope and it'll come out and it'll fall apart. Once you've done it, leave it.
Okay.
I appreciate they're a pain in the bum, little ring dings, but once they're done, leave them.
Okay.
Quite straightforward. And I say you've got the heads up on this because you've got the video to prove. Okay. Furling line's quite straightforward. Now then, paperwork. This is all relevant to your engine.
Okay.
So you've got your commissioning book and your service record for your engine. You've got a starter cord, you've got a toolkit, and you've got various manuals written in about 20 different languages.
Yeah.
Right?
Which could be that thick.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Usually,
when you
yeah.
look at England,
I know,
it's
I
like
know.
6 pages, and that's all you need. But it's written for everybody. That is peculiar to your boat and your engine.
Yeah.
The spanners in there are purely for the engine. I don't want you to do any spanner work because the engine is metric and your boat is imperial.
Really?
So, yeah, it's an American boat, so everything's imperial. It's all 9/16 or 7/16,
Yeah, it's
not
imperial.
11 mil and 14
What,
mil.
the UNC or something like that?
They're
UNF.
American fine, aren't they? Yeah.
UNF.
UNF. AF.
Yeah.
AF.
Right.
American fine.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's all for the engine. Okay? With the boat, you get, which I will take out now, you get the warranty card, which I'll read. You've got information on compasses, you've got information on your bilge pump, you've got the information on your winch on the front of the trailer, pulling winches, you've got information on the CDI. The CDI is the Cruiser Design Industries furling system. Okay? And that's what we're going to talk about now, the furling system. It's dead simple. Alright? It's American and it is simple. So we're talking about that in a moment. So, you've seen the couple of freebies I've given you. The mass rating system's out there. So that's everything on there. There is a manual, and it's written for Muppets. It's not being detrimental to you guys. Your hull number, 809. So it's an 09 hull, which we know. In here, and I would like you to commit it, or read it. You don't have to commit it to memory.
Yeah.
But it's written for complete numpties, written by the Americans, but they do get some of the spellings right. How the steering system works, how the ballast system works, line drawings for the boat, okay? The water system for the tap. Inside here is a bag type tank. It's a cube. It holds 22 litres of water, and you either bring the hose in here and fill it up, or it's there. It's a bag type tank and it makes a cube. It's quite straightforward. If you were doing a long passage, you might want to augment it. Personally, on my own boat, I use the big gallon cans from Asda, fresh water. The water that I have on the boat is just for rinsing the cups out.
Yeah.
The reason being, it will get a slight tang to it, slight taste, right? But if you use fresh water, you can use it for a whole bunch of other things. Okay? That's the water system. The electrical system. There's a 12-volt system in the boat. When the engine is running, it's charging the battery. We have a battery master switch where we'll shut everything down, and a battery master switch to switch it all back on again. Okay. It tells you where the holes are on the back of the boat, which I've shown you already, how to tie a bowline, how to tie up on a cleat, where you can walk, how to rig the boat. I have rigged the boat, so all these jobs have been done. All these jobs have been done. How to set the tensions on the uppers and the lowers and the cap shrouds. Done. How the mast racing system works. I've used it, I'm done, and I'm going to show you how it works this morning. How to attach the forestay. The vent plug, which is underneath the forward cushion, and I'm quite happy that you have a little look and take a picky of it.
Underneath the...
That's it. That cushion right in front of you there.
This one?
That one. If you lift that up,
Yeah, see it?
and then lift the liner up, that little white bit, put your finger in the little hole. There you go. There's a collar with a bung in the middle.
Yep.
Alright?
Okay.
That's your vent. Okay, the two cushions that you've got there, while you're looking there, there's two big cushions.
Yeah.
The little cushion is the cushion that goes when the galley slides forward, and the big cushion is the one that goes on the table when the table is down to turn the table into a bed. Alright?
Okay.
Easy as that. Okay, coming back here. The book. How to attach the boom. How to attach the boom. How to attach the main sheet car. How to attach the main sheet to the boom. How to reeve the main sheet, which we've just done. That's that job we just did. Okay? How to feed the sail in, and you feed the sail from the mast
Yep.
along the boom, not the other way round, because the end of the boom the edges are quite sharp, but the other end of the boom, they've been chamfered to take the sail in nice and gently. How to set the sail up, okay? How to put the battens in. All these jobs, right? Dead easy, all done, ready to go. Here's the reefing point when we said about this, the reefed mainsail with the out haul.
Yes.
Don't cut it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Now another one, we talked about a bite. I have people ring me up. I appreciate everyone gets excited. They've got their new boat and everything. Oh, you're really excited.
You'll be phoning him up.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I don't mind.
Help!
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
These are the jib sheets and the jib sheet cars.
Right, okay.
These two cars, they slide onto the two tracks, which are on either side of the boat.
Yeah.
Right. If you'd had a Genoa, then there's Genoa tracks.
Right.
Now, little plungers. You pull the plunger, slide it on, job's a good one. Okay, now then, people ring me up, Richard, you've only given me one sheet. Right? That is one sheet.
Right.
But what we do, we fold it in half. Exactly in half, and we'll find the two dead ends, the bitter ends, which are there's one. You put them together and give them to somebody and say, walk away, and you'll be left with that, which is called a bite.
Okay.
And the little book here tells us how to do it. But it's dead simple. You thread it through the hole in the sail,
And then back.
through the hole in the sail,
Yeah.
pull it round, back on itself, all right?
feed
And look
it
what'll
through.
happen.
Yeah.
Thread it through,
Yeah.
and you'll be left with that.
Yeah.
No big complicated knots, and one goes to port and one goes to starboard.
Okay.
And it's that simple,
Yeah.
right? I've seen on bigger boats, they tie great big bowlines, and then when you go about, they come back to the shrouds and get all snarled up because of this huge knot. You don't need a huge knot. Per the book, dead simple. And it's a lot of the fun in owning a boat, is doing these things and overcoming the little hiccups. But if you're really stuck, ring me up. Richard, I've had brain fade, I've had too many Guinnesses or whatever, and I've lost the plot.
How did you know? I drink
I'm a bloke. You drink Guinness as well? Do you drink Guinness? Just a little.
Just a little bit, yes.
Just a little bit. Just a wee nip.
Well, we were on the nips last night from an Irishman who insisted on buying us whiskies, you know. So.
Well, he felt sorry that he's. So do read the book. Engine connector bar I've done. It's all in here. Safety things, fire protection. I'm going to need a signature on there off you in a minute. All right, that's that. Okay, more bump. This comes with a whole load of bump. Now, mast raising system has been used and is ready to go. Your CE certificate, which customs may want to look at one day. Rudder lines, I've done them. You don't need to worry about it.
Yeah.
All right, that's easy. Your CE certificate. The only time you'll need this is if you went abroad, if you sailed across to France or took it on a ferry.
All right, aye.
Right, you need your CE certificate.
Right,
Customs will want to say, is it there?
Yeah.
You'll also need your final invoice, which has your name on it and the fact that you've paid your VAT.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a certificate for the trailer. There's a certificate for the statement of origin, because they want to say, well, where did this come from? So it's made in the States, and it's made out in your favour. That's that. There is, just for information, a CG66 is called a Coast Guard Form 66. If you're on open water and you're from your home port, there is a Coast Guard station or a Maritime Rescue and Coordination Centre. Okay? It's a way of recording your vessel. It doesn't cost you anything, but it's a way of recording the fact that your boat is used at Largs, wherever, whatever. Now, my boat is registered in Falmouth.
Yeah.
So if I was going on a passage, you know, if I was going to take a couple of friends and we were going to go up the coast somewhere, I would put a courtesy call through, either by phone or on VHF, handheld, whatever, to the local Coast Guard station, just to let them know where I'm going. Because they'll be there with the binoculars going, oh, there's a funny little boat going out there, where's he going? I wonder if he's going to call us.
Yeah.
You know, so my boat's called Bodega, I would call Falmouth Coast Guard, Bodega. They come back and say channel 67, and you go into 67, Bodega, pass your message. Falmouth Coast Guard, Bodega's en route to Foy, 4 persons on board, estimated time en route 40 minutes, you hold my CG66. Roger, old man, have a good trip. Job done. I've now logged it. They'll put it in a book. Has Bodega back yet? No, well, better give Richard a ring, find out where the hell he is, you know. But they know what colour your boat is when it's the right way up. They know what colour your boat is if it was the wrong way up. They know how many people you can carry, and you'll have put it down on the form.
Recorded,
all the information, whether you carry a dinghy, whether you carry your flares, whether you carry a life raft, and so it goes on. But it works both ways. One, it keeps them in the picture that you're out on the water, because the AA, the RAC and Green Flag aren't there to help you if you run out of fuel or whatever. And if they know where you are and you can give them a call, you'll get some help, and it doesn't cost you anything. The other thing is, if there is somebody, say from here you're going out to Foy, which is only 20 miles away, if there was a small boat with kids in it and they've run out of fuel in their little dinghy and they know you're going that way, they might say, do us a favour, could you just pop in and see if you can assist?
Yeah.
Rather than get the lifeboat to go from all the way here to all the way there for a couple of young scallies who didn't carry enough fuel with them in the first place. So you clip them around the ear and make sure they get onto the nearest beach. You don't have to tow them all the way home. Okay. There is a MacGregor Owners Association. It's nothing to do with Sue and I, but there are about 300 or 400 owners who've got boats the same as you.
In the UK?
In the UK, and they have little meetings. They've been across to Ireland, they've been across to Holland, they've been across to Brittany, and they do it as a gang, 6-12 boats. They might do the canals. And they've done little things like they've fitted a cooker with a hob, they've fitted a generator, they've fitted an extra fuel tank, they've done all sorts of things to it. Now, some people like it, some people don't, but there's no pressure from us for you to join. If you've got a problem, you ask me, okay? That's when they all went to Brittany. I think there was 12 boats went to Brittany, right? That's that. Look after your sails. Look after your sails. Sails. And there's your final invoice. Alright? So you need to keep all of that together. Now, it's a good idea to have a little file for your boat. When you buy something for your boat, keep the warranty paperwork all together. And then when you come to sell the boat in years to come, when you come to sell it, you're able to say, well, here it is, this is everything I've ever done to my boat. And then, oh look, what was that? Oh, a receipt for something else I bought, whatever. And it's quite nice to go with it. Keep your engine ones together, keep those boaty ones together. Okay? Remember what I said about those? This is just information. It tells you how a pulling winch works, and there's also another one there on a braked winch. The braked winch is the one that's going to be on your mast raising system. There's information and warranty cards for nav lights and interior lights, and the manual bilge pump and the electric bilge pump. Alright, just like that. So you keep all your paperwork together.
Is the electric bilge pump automatic?
No, no, you have to switch it on. You have to switch it on. So, in a moment. Okay. The furling system. And I'm glad you're filming this. Remember, and I keep saying it, none of this is rocket science. None of it is rocket science. It is all straightforward. And I've proved it, and it's all been assembled and tested, and it's ready to go. What I'm going to say to you here, and then we'll break for a coffee, because I'm spitting feathers already. Right? Dead simple. Now, if we assume that the furling system, and this is hypothetical because I don't know the exact length, but if we assume the furling system is 30 feet long, and I need to get a sail from the bottom to the top, I need 60 feet of rope, because I need a piece of rope that goes from the bottom to the top and back down again. I then attach my sail and pull on the rope, and it'll send the sail all the way to the top. Happy with that? Yeah? Right. Problem. If I had 60 foot of line, by the time the sail gets to the top, I'm going to be left with 30 foot of line doing nothing. And because this is a furling system and it's going to be spinning round and round and round, that 30 foot's going to get in my way. So I help you out here, and if we just have a quick glance up here, we have a... Oh, hello, Simon. I'd like a cup of tea. What would you like?
Coffee for me.
Coffee,
please.
2 coffees for these boys, and a tea for me.
White?
Yeah,
White, no
white.
sugar. White, 1 sugar. 2 sugars for me.
2 sugars for one and 1 sugar together?
Yeah, that's fine.
No, he doesn't take it. 1 with sugar, 1 without. And I'll have tea. Cheers, mate. Right, what I want to show you here is these 2 lines, okay? Blue and white. Okay. The blue line is a messenger line and has no other function other than to assist you to raise the sail, and then it comes off. So if we look here, I've got a bowline, right?
Yeah.
So when that knot goes to the bottom, we take it off, and that's us finished with, and this goes in the toolbox with the 2 bolts that came out your rudders. It's that easy. And because I've done that, you don't end up with this 30 foot of snarly rope, which is going to get tangled up.
Yeah.
The 30 foot that you don't need is blue, and you take it off. That way we have a nice tidy furling system.
Yeah.
All right, so the blue one and the white one. We attach the sail to the white one, feed it into the gate, pull on the blue one, the sail will go all the way to the top, the knot will come to the bottom, take the blue one off, job's done. And it's that easy. But out of all the things that we've been talking about this morning, that is probably the one you'll ring me up for. What's this bit of blue string? And I'll talk you through it, because it's not mentioned in here,
All right,
but it's that easy. All right? Okay, sitting down again. Hey, new deck shoes, look.
Absolutely. It's all ready for action.
I got a bit 2 pairs.
Okay, so now, if we just look here, the forestay is the wire that runs down the middle.
Right.
A is the actual furling system, or the luff, which is this grey bit here, and it's infinitely variable, right? This grey bit, which is bent,
Aye.
will straighten once the mast goes up and it's been in the sunshine for a few hours.
All right.
So the problem is it's longer than the mast. So if I've laid it alongside the mast and straight out, it's going to be banging on the back of the car, because it sticks out over a metre.
Aye. That's a plastic.
It's made of plastic,
Aye,
it's unbreakable.
Right, so, you know, I thought it was aluminium for
No,
that.
no,
Aye, aye.
it's unbreakable.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's unbreakable, guaranteed, and it won't hurt you even in the frost. Now then, so here we have,
All right.
if I show you this little bit of line here, which terminates at D, can you see this?
Yeah.
This is the halyard, and it goes all the way up, goes round and down, and will come all the way to the bottom. So as we speak, my blue messenger line is on this knot here, which is up here.
Yeah.
So that knot there, where my little finger is at the top. Okay? And this end is at the bottom, waiting for you to put the sail in. So you feed the sail in, pull on the blue line, and then that's the job done.
Okay.
And it's as easy as that. Now, so that's the top of the sail has been pulled all the way to the top, and it can't go any higher, and we secure it at D. And if we look at here, D is an anchor pin. Yeah, anchor pin or shackle. Okay, so it's a shackle. So we're going to tie the string, the halyard off there. We've now got to secure the bottom of the sail. Now this bottom corner of the sail is called the tack, and we need a piece of string or line, and it looks like a bootlace.
Yeah.
Here it is. It's in a bag. Okay, and if we look at L, L is the tack line. So it says there tack line. So it's 1/8 and it's 4 feet long. That's it. Okay, it's not a bootlace. I tell people it's like a bootlace. And if you look at this little diagram here, L, it's used 3 or 4 times between the shackle, D, and the corner of the sail. And it goes round 4 or 5 times. And you pull it tight so it pulls the sail down. So this line here is pulling the sail up, and this little short one is pulling the sail down. And the reason we do that is to stretch the leading edge of the sail, which is called the luff, between the head and the tack, to make it nice and tight. And a tight sail is a happy sail, is a sail that will perform. Easy as that. All right? Dead simple. Now, this is another little book that I want you to read. It's called the CDI Flexible Furler. Right? And it's used on a whole bunch of boats. Okay? It's basic reading. It's all simple. I've assembled it and it's ready to go. Right? And its use is simple. There's no big springs in it for winding the sail away. One piece of line will pull the sail out, i.e. the sheets on the sail pull the sail out. And your furling line, which is there, gets, as the sail comes out, that'll wrap itself around the drum, so that when you pull that one and let go of the sheet, you wind the sail back in again. So it's a straightforward pull. Okay, have a little read through that. It's dead simple. Right, again, if you get stuck, ring me. Okay, let's see if Sue's got it right now. Because we give you a little padlock for your boat. And I failed last week because the boat I handed over last week, she put down the wrong combination. So, the combination for your lock is written on your final invoice. Okay? It's written on the final invoice. And the combination, pardon me, the combination for your lock is 30, 10, 38. Right? 30, 10, 38. So, and if you can't get your head around this, throw it away and buy yourself a padlock. But it's a freebie with the boat.
Okay.
So 30, 10, 38. So when you arrive, 2 full turns clockwise. 1, 2. Stop at 30. So, because that's the first number, wasn't it? Anti-clockwise, past 30, stop at 10. And then forward to 30. Was it 38? 38, was it? So... Woohoo! And it opens.
Okay.
It's that easy. I mean, I'm happy. It can be a nightmare. If you've had a couple of bevies, and you forget the combination or you don't bypass the first number, it's a nightmare. Now you might choose to put that on a bit of laminate card, keep it in your pocket, or you might choose to throw that away or hang it on a nail in your workshop and put a padlock on there. But that's a freebie that comes with the boat. All right. Now then, we're going to go, I think probably stop recording now because we're going to have a cup of tea. I've got a couple of bits of